Hello, everyone. It's Erin Paige. Welcome to Love Life Dream Bigger. In this episode, I'd like to talk about the word resistance. I was on a walk with my dog the other day, and as other pet owners may notice as well, especially with dogs, with their noses being their main sensory, they will sniff anything and everything. And sometimes there are moments where what they are sensing and sniffing is much more interesting than other objects or other places along the walk or the path or wherever you are. And you may be ready to move on, but he or she are like, absolutely not. I am still taking this all in. And they really dig in, at least my dog does, digs in and resists me pulling on the leash and saying, let's go. So I thought about that, and through the course of many, many walks and observing this, I realized that if I relaxed a little bit and would allow him a little bit more time to investigate, to figure out what was so interesting and enticing and tantalizing with that particular object or smell that he was sensing, that I actually was able to reduce the resistance, that I wasn't really pulling him along if I relaxed. And that made me think about kids. That made me think about myself. And that made me think about offering the question, where are you finding resistance? And maybe it would be, or let's see, maybe it would behoove you to sit with that moment and not be so resistant to what is taking place in life, and observe, take it in, and allow. As you guys, if you listen to me more and more, I love that word allow. If you allow whatever is going on happen, then you will most likely be able to move on in a smoother fashion and without resistance, and just kind of questioning that. So I know with being a mother that there are times when my child will be very resistant to me saying something, or, okay, let's move on. And they're like, absolutely. And, they're going in their head, they're like, well, why would I want to move on? This is what is captivating me right now. I don't want to move on, Mom, come on. And they're very resistant to that. So I found that if I be patient just a little bit and allow my son to observe and kind of finish up what's going on with him and his curiosity, that I met least or less resistance from him to be able to move on. And there are times, with the dog or with my son or in different times in my life where I'm like, you know what? I just absolutely don't have time to allow much more of this to go on. So you have to, you do have to pull a little bit. But I found that the more you pull and the more you're resistant, the harder the path is. And just think about that for a minute. When you've had some awkward situations in your life, when you have met resistance from, let's say, something at work or someone else that's involved in your life, or, even think about a zipper, on your coat, and it's off track, or something's caught in it and you're trying and it's providing that resistance. And the more harder you pull, the more frustrated you get, and you could potentially rip your coat or hurt your hand or something like that. But if you stop and observe and take the material that's been caught in the track, or figure out why it got off track in the first place, things seem to work out a lot better. That zipper flows smoothly and effortlessly when you actually take the time So think about where you're holding resistance in your life. Think about if you're an animal owner and you know that your four-legged furry friend is resistant to move forward in the walk, maybe it would be a benefit if you just loosened your grip a little bit and allowed that moment to happen and see if there is less resistance after the moment has passed. Keep that in mind. Think about it. Thank you so much for being here. And if you like what you hear and like this podcast and like the whole erinpaige.com platform, visit my website, visit all of my social media on Facebook, and share this podcast with others and share the journey and love. Thank you again for being here. Love on your life and dream bigger than you've ever dreamt before. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon.